wonderful people. Arina Heaver here from sunny Dubai, and I'm here with my dear friend, George Sebastio. George, for those very, very few people in the world who do not know who you are, please introduce yourself.
I'm just George Sebastião. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I am from Portugal and from Canada. I was born in Lisbon, then I moved to Montreal and then Ottawa. But I've reached the Middle East about 25 years ago, since Middle East was a very welcoming place, and I've decided to make it my home. So I live between Dubai, Bahrain, Cyprus, and it's been an amazing journey since then.
So George is being very, very modest. When it comes to crypto and blockchain space in the Middle East, George is the original gangster, the OG as we call them. George, how did you get into crypto and blockchain space? What got you there? Because that's not how you started.
No, that is correct. My background is originally in mathematics, and then I did a lot of cybersecurity for over 20 years. So I remember at one time reading the Satoshi paper, and when I looked at it, I said, well, this looks a lot like an interesting way to package cybersecurity technology without a centralized authority. But it was actually a good friend of mine, actually my boss, and I was a CTO for Huawei for 5.5 years in about 20 countries in the Middle East. And he says, there's this thing called blockchain, go study. So I ended up learning, absorbing it, and it was actually a very important move because it allowed me to combine my mathematics, my cybersecurity, as well as my knowledge to then go further and actually develop more interesting use cases. Of course, if you go back 7 years ago, it was not very knowledgeable in the Middle East. We had to do a lot of awareness sessions to help people understand the technology. And then we moved into use cases, and then we moved into regulatory compliance, because as you know, things don't happen in a vacuum. So, interestingly enough, some of the countries, like, for example, very small in the Middle East, like Bahrain, created the original sandbox. And this sandbox, which started about 3 years ago, has allowed a few organizations to graduate and then operate completely under the central bank regulations. And this is obviously a big for Middle East, because it allows the Middle East to play in the global playground of blockchain use cases, CBDC, asset tokenization, integration of digital assets with physical assets, as well as cryptocurrencies. Of course, the most popular ones like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and we'll leave a few names out of the list.
You touched base a little bit on the regulatory innovation which is coming out of Bahrain. I'm a big fan of what's coming out of Bahrain. Is there anything that you're particularly excited about in the UAE? Any interesting regulatory innovation?
That is correct. The UAE, of course, has been talking about blockchain and digital assets for quite some time. I'm a good colleague of Dr. Marwan Zaroni, because we did a lot of stuff in cybersecurity over 20 years ago. He started the Dubai Blockchain Center almost 3 years ago with the mandate of Sheikh Maktoum. And this has been one of the innovator places where knowledge gets transmitted. It created an ecosystem. And as a result of that, specific free zones like DIFC, DMCC, and in Abu Dhabi, ADGM moved to start make the first regulatory compliant organizations. I would say that the two most leading organizations today would be ADGM out of Abu Dhabi and DMCC in Dubai. DMCC has been doing OTC trading for cryptocurrencies probably for 2.5, 3 years now.
And of course, we are in DIFC, Dubai International Financial Center. We're in a beautiful fintech hive. So let's give shout out to our hosts. And I'm absolutely big fan of what Fintech Hive is doing. And there's a lot of innovative companies out here. Please come and check it out. Now, a tricky question. What do you think about NFTs? So now NFT seems to be the flavor of the month. Any particular interest, or you think it's just a hype that will go away?
No, I think, well, first, NFTs have been around for almost 4 years, so they are not new. There was CryptoKitties that ended up putting a lot of strain on the Ethereum network and driving up the gas fees quite some time ago. and then people forget about NFTs. But then in the last 6 months, 1 year, NFTs have become in vogue as well, especially because the standard has advanced, and you have not just single NFTs, but you can also fractionalize the NFTs. So people are looking at NFTs as a way to power art, to power even parts of real estate, and even looking at things like, for example, streaming services. DJs are looking at NFTs, and of course, some big art items have been sold for millions of dollars. I think the latest big one was almost $69 million. Some crypto billionaire from South India, was one of the acquirers of this piece of art. But I think those are just big noise and something that is much bigger to come. So I do believe there's some important elements that are driving this adoption. One is not just the NFTs, is how you turn NFTs into useful use cases. You're changing the business model. And how are you changing the business model? That means if you're an artist or a content creator, one, you protect your content via NFT is not enough. Now, you need to have platforms that play your content or demonstrate your content or showcase your content and enable NFTs to reward you. So today, for example, you're a YouTuber, how you make money. You're using ads, Google ads, and somehow Google pays you a small percentage of the total revenue they make. With the advent of NFTs, the creators of this video streaming content will be able to tokenize it and get direct revenues from the platforms that will play that content but directly support NFTs. So it's going to dramatically disintermediate some of the organizations like Facebook, Instagram, and Google that are the kings of the social media advertising world. So the other area, I think there's a lot of a big revolution, and I've been involved in a few projects, is the area of DeFi or distributed finance. So I do think that distributed finance is definitely one of the areas where we see a lot of advancements. It's still in the early days, but we have created a few projects that demonstrate the power and the capabilities of this technology, and we've been able to build sizable communities. One of the key projects that I'm heading right now, we have a community of over 50,000 and growing extremely rapidly. It's a project called Nimbus that I'm heading. It's originally showcased in Malta and now is expanding into the region, as well as we're looking at doing an IPO in the Toronto Stock Exchange as well. So we're trying to combine, you can say, the digital world with the physical world to create a whole new generation of solutions.
Which is amazing. People wanting to dismantle the old system or the markets. Why dismantle it if you can work together, if you can optimize, improve, bring more transparency and efficiency into the markets? You are one of the key speakers at the Dubai AIBC Summit in May. And you are, any particular topic that you're excited about or something you want to specifically cover?
Well, actually, I've been following Iman Police for quite some time because I spent a lot of time in Cyprus, and Malta is just a puddle jump away. So we've been in contact for quite a long time. I was part of the Malta Blockchain Summit. We also did some joint things in London as well. And we brought Sheikh Khaled bin Zayed Al Nahyan to actually visit. It was extremely good. So we had a good time with John McAfee at the time, and even also, of course, we have good friends in which we demonstrated the robot Sophia. So a merge of, so it's not really just about blockchain. It's about blockchain, it's about AI, it's about digitalization. Of course, Iman also has a big side of gaming, and gaming will soon become a hot topic in the region as well. So we have to keep, yes, correct. So it will be obviously an extreme pleasure to be part of the Dubai AIBC event, in which it's showcasing modern technology and its applications. So it's about blockchain, it's about artificial intelligence, it's about gaming and how to bring all these worlds together in powerful use cases.
Fantastic. And if you were to reach out to our listeners, would you recommend them to come to the Dubai AIBC Summit? What would entice them to come?
Well, first, the weather is going to be extremely good. Maybe a little bit on the hot side.
Yeah, so if you want a tan, come to Dubai.
Correct. So I think by the end of May, I think it will be extremely predictable weather, not too many clouds, but
Yeah, don't bring
sunny.
an umbrella, you'll be fine.
So you bring your suntan lotion. And apart from that, Dubai is a very welcoming city, multinational. We have over 200 nationalities. You're able to eat a different kind of food every day. So you can experiment with different regional perspectives. And Dubai is probably today the safest city in the world. So safety is very important in today's world. It is important to know that we're still in a COVID situation. And both in this case, Dubai, UAE, and Israel are the two leading countries that have vaccinated upwards of 70% of their population. And I'm sure by May, probably 100% of the population would have been vaccinated, which makes it both safe in terms of physical, but also safe in terms of this existing COVID pandemic that we have today.
And I think everybody should come if you've never been to Dubai, if you've never interacted with our Dubai crypto and blockchain community, would be very surprised. Amazing projects are being worked on here, and we've got a very vibrant community and a very welcoming community. And also the leadership of Dubai, which is the beautiful thing, the leadership of Dubai has been supporting entrepreneurship always, and not only by words, by action. And of course, thanks to the leadership of Dubai, we live in a very safe and secure place. George, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you at the Dubai AIVC Summit in May, and everybody is welcome.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to spend this short time together, and looking forward to speaking together at the conference and having an amazing networking event. Thank you.
Thank you.